You ever finish a movie or a TV show and just get this feeling that it kind of changed how you see the world? Even just a little bit. Well, today, we're going to hand you the decoder ring for that exact feeling. We're breaking down cultural criticism. It's this really powerful way to understand the media we're all swimming in every single day. So let's just dive right in with the big central question. Is a classic opera really better or more valuable than the latest hit sitcom? For centuries, the answer was a pretty clear, yup, of course it is. But cultural criticism, well, it steps in right here and asks us to look much, much deeper. So what is this thing? What's in this basic toolkit? At its heart, cultural criticism is a way of analyzing how our own experiences are shaped by the stories we're told, through music, movies, books, literally everything in between. Okay, so first things first, we've got to update our definition of culture. Forget the idea that it's some static thing, like locked away in a museum. This way of thinking sees culture as a living, breathing process. It's a constantly changing experience that you and I are both a part of. And here's the key. Culture isn't just one thing. It's more like a super complex web. Your personal culture is this unique intersection of your gender, your race, your class, all these different factors playing off each other. It's that messy, interactive reality that cultural criticism is really interested in. And that brings us to this absolutely central concept called cultural work. I want you to think of a movie or a song or even a meme as a little factory, okay? So what ideas is it producing? What beliefs about the world is it packaging up and shipping out to all of us? That's its cultural work. It's the job it does in either reinforcing or maybe even changing our shared ideas. All right, so now let's see how this all builds up to the theory's most powerful argument. This is where our question about opera versus sitcoms is going to come roaring back, but with a really fascinating twist. So traditionally, culture has been split into these two camps, right? You've got high culture, stuff like fine art and opera, which was seen as the good stuff, complex and morally superior. And then you had low culture, things like TV shows and pop fiction, which was often just dismissed as simple, kind of inferior entertainment for everybody else. But here comes the counterpunch from cultural critics. They argue that this whole division has absolutely nothing to do with artistic value. Nope. Instead, it's a tool. By calling certain things high art, a society's dominant group can basically reinforce its own status. It's a way of saying, hey, what we like is better, and therefore, we are better. So here's the crucial point. Cultural criticism just levels the playing field. It argues that a TV comedy is just as worthy of a serious look as a Shakespearean play. Why? Because both of them are performing cultural work. They're both factories, and they're both producing ideas about our world. Now, this isn't just some abstract academic game. Cultural criticism has a very clear point of view. It's got an agenda. It is inherently political, and understanding the why behind that is totally key to grasping its power. And when you put it side by side with the related fields like New Historicism, its unique personality really shines through. Just look at that first row. This approach is overtly political. It doesn't pretend to be neutral. It actually works to support oppressed groups, and it often borrows tools from feminist and Marxist theories to get the job done. And this is so important. This theory doesn't see people as just passive victims of whatever ideas are being thrown at them. It sees us as active agents who can push back, who can reinterpret messages, and who can use culture to transform the very power structures that try to limit us. It's actually a fundamentally hopeful and empowering perspective. Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. Now it's time for the how. Let's actually open up that toolkit and look at the questions, the decodering settings, if you will, that you can use on any piece of media you come across. All right, here's the first one. When you're watching a movie, just ask yourself, who is being held up as the role model here? What way of life is this thing showing as desirable or normal? Is it trying to tell you to be a hero, a consumer, a rebel? What's the message? Next up, you got to think about the assumptions. For a joke in a sitcom to even be funny, what does it assume you already believe about families, or work, or relationships? You see, every piece of culture is built on a foundation of shared ideas. This question helps you see that foundation. This one's the big power question. Is this story reinforcing the way things are, the status quo, or is it maybe challenging it? Is it celebrating the world as it is, or is it suggesting, hey, maybe there's a different way things could be? And finally, this might be the most important question of all. You have to look for the gaps. Who isn't on the screen? Whose voice is totally missing from this story? Sometimes what a cultural product doesn't say is way more revealing than what it does. So, the next time you're scrolling through your feed, or you're binging a new series, or just listen to your favorite playlist, pause for just a second and ask yourself this. With your new decoder ring, what cultural work is this piece of media doing? What ideas is it building in your world right now?